for this one, all you need to do is go and download from Canvas the Lifecycle template. All you will find is just a boilerplate code for a single activity. The UI will have just a simple text view, and the onCreate will have no code. So on this video, what we're going to be covering is seeing how the different methods that are managed between the transitions of the life cycle of an application, or as an activity to be more specific, change throughout time. So for this one, all that we're going to be doing is just printing some statements, some log statements. So let's start with onCreate. We say log.i, we need a tag, we'll create that, and let's say calling onCreate. Now for this one, we're going to create a tag. So this is going to be screen tag log, and this is going to be hi. So in here, all we have to pass is that tag, and that's pretty much it. Now, once we run our app, we will see that somewhere around here on the log, so if you just open the log tag here, for our app to start, we will see that this message is going to be printed along some other log messages from our application. These are the log messages from our application. So if we go up here, at some point, here we go. We will find this log message, that is the one that we created, just along all of this clutter. Now, the longer the emulator and the app keeps running, the more messages you will find here. And if you put no filters, you will see messages that are not only particular to your application. So for this purpose, we want to just see the log messages that we created. We're gonna create a filter here. Just give it a name, and on the log tag, just put the same tag that you are using on your code. So in this case, it's uppercase hi, and now we're only seeing these particular logs that we are creating. So now we have logs, so we can see the changes, and when each method is called, we're gonna override the methods that are responsible for handling the state changes during the life cycle. So the easy way is to go here, go to generate, override methods, and let's override these three to start. So on start, on stop, and on destroy, each one of these methods has to call the super version of the method itself. That ensures that everything that needs to be done to handle the state changes of the application or of the activity, to be more specific, will happen regardless of what you do on top of that. So here we're just gonna add the print statements that are going to print on the log whenever each one of these methods is called. Now we can also manually override the remaining two methods that we didn't auto-generate. So those will be on start. Remember here to call on the start and on pause. We have on pause. We don't have on pause, so let's call on pause. Okay, so now we're gonna restart our application. Oh, there's an error here. So let's fix that one. Let's run it once again. Now we'll see which methods are being called once we start our application for the first time. So we call onCreate followed by onStart. So let's see. So if the application goes into the background, then we call onPause and onStop. Now on the background means that the activity is no longer on the foreground or the one that is being active. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're exiting the application. It can be that you just move to a different activity within the same app. Now once the app activity comes back into the foreground, so it's the one that you're actively interacting with, you call on restart followed by on start to go back to the running state of the activity. Now if we exit the application, so we just build it, you'll see that you will see the call or to undestroy. Now call to undestroy is not necessarily always going to be called immediately after the application is destroyed or you exit out of the application. That really depends on the Android scheduler. Sometimes it will keep some resources allocated to the activity just for a little bit longer before calling to undestroy and freeing up all of the resources. This is common because sometimes users will exit an application just to restart it. So just to keep a minimum overload of resources and just try to manage them more effectively, Android tries to keep those resources just for a little bit longer. Now once we call the application once again, we will see that we start with onStart, onCreate and onStart. So since we destroyed our application, we have to start from the beginning and create all the UI of the activity from the zero. Now onDestroy is not generally called when you're switching between different activities within your app. They are usually on the stack of Android on the background, but you can call onFinish to cause an activity to be destroyed if you want to. And that's pretty much it for this one. So if you want to play more with this example, just create another activity, add intents to transition between the two activities, maybe three, and see how these methods are being called for each of those activities. You will have to override each of these methods in each one of the activities that you are creating to look at which method is being called from which activity. Thank you.